Welcome back to the Armchair Generals,
where we talk 40K's news, tactics, and lore.
And so much more. We hope you enjoy the video.
Necron Warriors. Necron Warriors are back in style.
Oh, yeah, they are. Especially with their numbers Legion to reroll reanimation protocol.
Yep. Reanimation protocol rolls of 1. They can reroll those. The Gauze Reaper got
it lost 2 inches from the edge of silence.
From what?
Wasn't it 14-inch range in edge of silence?
So it was 15-inch rapid fire. Now it's 12 inches assault 2. So yeah, it was 15 inches rapid.
The consistency between this is just nuts. It's like this.
The Reaper, I think you'll see the Reapers used in conjunction with the new 20-man limit on the Night Scythe.
Right. Oh, there you go. And just drop them.
Dump a 20-man unit right in front of the enemy and unload with Strength 5 AP2, 2 shots each. So you 20-man warrior squad dumping 40 shots at Strength 5 AP2. There's not a lot that can take that.
If you make a Mephrit, if they're in half range, they get +3 range, so now it's 15. Half range is 7.5 inches.
Yep.
You just get another AP, so it just really hurts. I mean, they're probably not great with Mephrit, but no, that hopping out of 20 of them in a Night Scythe, dropping down, smoking something, is gross.
I mean, your standard choice is going to be Warriors with Gauze Flares, because they can move across the table shooting as they go. But the Gauze Reaper is definitely going to see, I think they'll see some use with transports. Especially
that's a really good tactic.
What?
20, maybe 19 of them, a Royal Warden.
Yeah. Okay.
In the transport.
Yeah. I don't like those Royal Wardens, but that would be a way to use one. That'd be a lot of pain they could unload. Canopic Reanimators, still garbage.
I honestly would probably still put, if you're going to invest in a 20 block of Warriors, I would still I would take the Chronomancer, just so they can have better chances of getting up. Or you give them an invulnerable save, since they're going to be up in someone's face.
I agree. The Canopic Reanimator, I thought it was garbage with Indominus. I still think it's garbage. Its stat line for its point cost is just trash. There's no way.
It's got T5, right? Or did we skip them?
Who? No. I went left to right.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Let's continue trashing the Reanimators because they deserve it.
It's just, I mean, in concept, sure, it's cool. The whole reanimation thing, helping boost it and everything. I see why they did it, given the changes they were making to reanimation protocols. But its stat line for its points cost is just trash. Toughness 5, 6 wounds, 3+ armor save, and it's 120 points. Where is the points list? Canopic Reanimator. It is 110. Okay, so I think it went down 10 points, but it's 110 points, and it just doesn't do much. And it's easy to knock out. I mean, you can knock that out with some decent sustained fire from an infantry squad. You're better, in my opinion, you're better off spending your points elsewhere.
It's a little too expensive for what it does.
Yeah. What were you saying about Immortals?
They got toughness 5 back.
They
only took, what is it? 5 editions. If you're counting when it changed to now to get their T5 back, but it
happened. What was it? 3rd edition, or was it
3rd edition? They had T5 and they were elites, and then I guess the 5th edition Codex, they didn't have one in 4th edition, so still 4 editions to get their T5 back.
Hex Mark Destroyers are nifty. They're okay.
With the damage 1 guns, they're really just okay.
Yeah.
The rule's cool that they have, but it's like they want you to shoot at cultist or Gene Cult models or guardsmen. The army had so the army has the ability to clear that stuff in spades. It doesn't need an assassin to go do it.
Yeah, I think that's my problem too. Is it's already got plenty of infantry clearing capability in the army, and this just clears more infantry. I mean, yeah, it's cool. The model's cool looking. The concept is cool. But it only goes off when a model's destroyed for the extra shots. So, yeah, it's another, why add it if it's not going to be useful?
I mean, maybe scenario play or crusade play, it might be cool. But I don't even know if I'd take it in friendly games because it's just more of a deterrent. It's just more of a point sink for you, the player.
Well, it's 4 power, so it's going to be about 80 points. I don't want to scroll all the way down.
Right.
It's going to be about 80 points, probably 75 to 85, somewhere in there. Take a 10-man warrior squad. Well, I mean, I guess that's a lot more than that. Take 5-man. Take 5-man immortal squad. There you go.
Right.
There you go. You got more firepower, more clearing, and just as many wounds.
And better Terminator jokes.
And better Terminator jokes.
The only joke you get with the Hex Mark is when the guy's like, what if it was one dude with 6 guns from Boondock Saints? He's like, you shut up and let me do the thinking.
They're looking at 6 guys with guns. Well, why not one guy with 6 guns? Go away.
It's like that RPG we played a long time ago when I was like, I bet these aren't his boots either.
Blitzguard got another wound. And
they got core and they got another attack.
They got another attack. They got another wound. Their core, their dispersion shield is the same thing as a storm shield now, which is good.
Yeah, that's really good because it gives them a 2-up armor save and a 4-up invul.
They're going to be really good objective sitters.
I mean, yeah, they're really good in tanking. I don't think they can go into a night scythe, but they'd be another really fun candidate to be put into a night scythe and like zoom on up if they could be.
And they do have living metal too, so if one does take a wound, it'll heal it.
Do they? That's cool. I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah, that's actually a cool thing. It's a unit with living metal and reanimation protocols because I don't think that's pretty. It's either. I think that might be unique to them.
And they do shield. They do shield characters, nobles or dynastic agent infantry nobles. So yeah, as long as it's a noble or dynastic agent noble, they can't be targeted within 3 inches of the Lich Guard.
So you're saying Trazin's got a chance?
He does.
He's a noble. Not those lower caste chronomancers and mancers. No. Lord and above, sir.
Oh yeah, flayed ones.
Oh, the new models look so good. Yeah, they're so awesome. And they'd be what is that blood for the blood god, like gore splatter paint they do that like kind of looks like it's congealed blood. Like if you wanted to make that flesh on them look real fresh, you could have like that dripping down. You could also get some hot glue and like drizzle it off them because I don't think it's hard enough to melt the model, just enough to make the glue warm. So it drizzles off them, and then you could take red contrast paint and paint that glue. So then it looks like lots of like blood and sticky. It'd probably be better to do puddles under them with that.
It would look good.
I know you don't like that creepy horror stuff like with the Death Guard either.
No, I mean, there's no denying the models are amazing looking. I just,
Did you see the Velociraptor claws? I'm pretty sure I talked about this in another video.
You did, and
now you can make clicking noises and clever girl jokes when you like swamp someone from the side with them. Flayed one's hunting packs. It's not the one in front of you, but from the sides.
Oh, -2 leadership. Yeah. Terrifying aura, -2 leadership to enemy units within 3 inches.
And then their flesh hunger, that got changed. Now it's an additional hit if they roll if they unmodified 6 to hit.
Exploding 6s to hit. That's nice.
I think they got another attack. I don't know if they were 2 or 3 before, but they're 3 now.
They were 3.
Okay.
So now, I mean, they're solid. They're a really good unit.
And they have something called Dimensional Translocation. I'm gonna go look up what that does while you talk about the next.
That's the Deep Strike.
Oh, is that like put something into Deep Strike reserve? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So they kept that. That's cool.
Yep. So they can start in their own little pocket dimension, just like the Death Marks and their new guns. Their guns range 36, heavy 1, strength 5, AP 2. Each time you select a target for this weapon, you can ignore the Lookout Sir rule. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. So
amazing. And they went up to BS2.
Yes, they did. Yep. So they're going to be really, really solid. And I believe their hunters from hyperspace is a stratagem now.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, and they have a keyword, hyperspace hunter. Hunters from hyperspace. That always reminded me of like an old 60s like a sci-fi cartoon.
Yep. Every time, the first time I read it, I was like, well, that's some old sci-fi right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's that 5th edition Necron Codex. It was very Art Deco in the styling.
Scorpek Destroyers are still just as choppy. They dropped a few points, so they're an even better choice.
They dropped, what, 5 points apiece?
I think so.
So, and now you can take them in units of 6.
Yeah, units of 6, GW. Outrider. What up?
Hey, look, finally, something that non-Space Marines got. Better than normal Space Marines.
Space Marines, they got cake, the Space Marines didn't.
We better let GW know so they can fix that. Be like, hey, look, you gave them this cool thing, but you didn't give it to Space Marines. It's going to be fact in 5 minutes, guys. Just watch.
You gave Necrons a chocolate cupcake. You gave Space Marines a chocolate cupcake. But the Necrons chocolate cupcake had like 25% more chocolate frosting than the Space Marines. This just won't do.
And 37 sprinkles on it. I counted them myself. I need 38.
All right. So Treyarch Stalkers are pretty solid. They're well worth taking. I mean, they've never been bad, but they're definitely worth taking now. They're up to 12 wounds. Their weapons are all better. I mean, they've got quantum shielding. They're
quantum shielding, living metal.
Yep. They're a really good item, a really good unit.
Do they come on a base, or are they still one of the weird units that's like not on one?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That would be something worth looking at. So,
the heat ray that got its focus form got the normal melter rule, the D6 +2.
It did, yeah.
And the dispersed, I guess, went up in range. To 12. It was probably 8 before.
Dispersed, yeah, it's 12. Yeah, it was 8 before.
Oh, twin heavy Gauss cannon is really good. All the weapons are actually a fairly good choice.
They are.
See, that's indicative of good rules design and good unit balance. When every one of its weapon choices that you can choose is good at something.
Funny you say good unit balance, because up next we have the one you were geeking out about, and with good reason.
There's nothing unbalanced about the Nightbringer. I read about him in a novel once, and now he actually sounds like he could do what he could do.
Yeah, the Nightbringer is disgusting. I saw in an article that had been written by Goonhammer that they said he might very well be the best model in the game right now, and he might be. for melee and fighting.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, they got a big price jump too. They're all 350 plus points.
Yeah. Do you want to cover a few of the Nightbringer's rules there?
Sure. So, I mean, his stats are almost identical to what they showed off with the Boydragon. He does get an extra pip of strength and an extra attack over the other Catan because he is the close combat Catan. So remember, 6 attacks. He gets the same Necrodermis rule, so 4 up invulnerable save. He cannot lose more than 3 wounds per phase, which is really nice. He has living metal, so he can regen wounds. His scythe comes in 2 forms. You have a reaping, a sweep attack, or you have an entropic blow. And invulnerable saves cannot be made against his entropic blow, against his heavy impact, which is really nice. He can never, the Catan can never have relics or warlord traits, and they cannot benefit from Lookout Sir, even though they have 9 wounds. They're not eligible for it, which is very reminiscent to their old 3rd edition rule, which was like above all others. They weren't allowed to benefit from Lookout Sir rules then either. And they couldn't join units, which I think is what you can do in 30.
Funny that they get the ability, though, to, not take more than, a number of wounds per game and then ignore that. Well, him, anyway.
Oh, okay. Yes. But what's got the internet on fire is Drain Life. Each time this model makes a melee attack that is allocated to an enemy model, I guess you can smack your own dudes and then it doesn't count?
Makes a melee attack that is allocated to an enemy model. Okay.
That enemy model cannot use any rules to ignore the wounds it loses. So, no feel no pains, no discussing resilient, no necrodermises, no Gaz Coles like beefy chunky self. Because in my mind, that's a rule that lets you ignore damage and wounds. I mean, some people are saying that's just one way to interpret it. I'm like, no, it's a rule that ignores X amount of damage. This ignores that rule.
I mean, it's
yeah. GW is not known for writing clear and precise rules, but this one's pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that it ignores the brand new nifty, can only take so many wounds a turn rule that we're pretty sure all the Primarchs are going to get, and basically all the Supreme Commanders.
I think all the giant ones, because Robute doesn't have it.
Oh.
All like the Demon Primarchs get it.
He should get it. Yeah, no, the Nightbringers. If you see the Nightbringer, kill it. And
shoot it dead, psychic it dead.
With the Necrodermis thing, you're going to have a multi-phase plan. You're going to have to shoot it, psychic it, and assault it. And hope. I mean,
hope your Overwatch is good too.
With 9 wounds, it can only take 3 per phase, right?
Correct.
So yeah, so if you shoot it for 3, psychic it for 3, and then assault it, and take 3 wounds, you can kill it in 1 turn, and that's what you need to do.
I'm part of some Tau groups, and it's really sad. Their plan is to hope that the player who's using it is dumb. That's really what their plan comes down to.
They don't have psychic, and they definitely aren't taking him in melee. Oh,
you could send the brave drones.
Shard of the Deceiver changed a little bit, but overall he pretty much fills the same role he did. Boydragon, we've gone over. It really is
still so amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a tough choice too, like between Nightbringer and Boydragon. Nightbringer is definitely the heavier hitter, but I think Boydragon's going to stay around longer because against the targets you want to go after, he's going to heal himself from killing them.
If your opponent's got vehicles, he can stick around a long time. A slightly lesser pointed is the standard Transcendent Catan, and he still hits pretty hard. He's not hitting as hard as the 3 named ones, but he still hits pretty hard. He's got Catan powers, and he's like 100 points less. He's 250 or 275.
Yeah, I mean, his fists are still like las cannons.
I mean, he still hits like a runaway train. He just doesn't hit like 2 runaway trains.
Oh, Also, all the Catans, even the named ones, still get their Catan powers. So you still get to do cool shooting attacks with them.
Yeah.
Each of the named ones has a set one, and then you get another one. The Transcendent one can get more of the generic ones. So that is a plus. And it is cheaper in points. I mean, its power is a lot too. It's 4 less power than the other 3.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so we went a little longer than we expected on this video. So we're going to go ahead and break it up into multiple parts. We'll have the next part coming up soon.
Thank you for joining us for today's video.
We hope you enjoyed your time with us.
If you did, please remember to smash that like button.
Hit subscribe and click that notification bell.
So you never miss a video from us.
Until next time, we are the Armchair Generals.